for today's Convert Metric Units of Mass. This is lesson 11-4 and you will find this lesson on page 669 up to page 672 from your book. Here are the learning objectives for today's lesson. You're going to convert metric units of mass and solve more problems related to the metric units of mass conversion. So let's have a review. So this is the metric conversion that I want you to remember always for the three lessons that we discussed: the metric units of capacity, the metric units of length, and now the metric units of mass. So as I told you before, from the larger unit to the smaller unit, that is always multiplied by 10 every movement. So like for example, from kilometer to hectometer, that is multiplied by 10. From hectometer to decameter, another multiplied by 10. Decameter to meter or liter or gram, that is multiplied by 10. The same thing from the unit to decimeter, multiplied by 10. And decimeter to centimeter, multiplied by 10. Centimeter to millimeter, that is also multiplied by 10. So if you're going to convert from kilometer to millimeter, that is how many movements? That is tens, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million. So it means you need to multiply by 1 million. Okay? So another one is if you're going to convert from smaller unit to bigger unit, it means like for example, from millimeter to centimeter or millimeter to decimeter, millimeter to kilometer, that is divided by 10 every unit movement. Okay, so like for example, from millimeter to centimeter, that is divided by 10. From centimeter to decimeter, that is divided by 10. Decimeter to meter, divide 10. Meter to decameter, divide 10. Decameter to hectometer, divide 10. And hectometer to kilometer, that is also divided by 10. Now, how do you convert metric units of mass? The three most commonly used units of mass are the milligram, the gram, and the kilogram. So converting metric units of mass is like converting other metric units. So we have here 10 cube. 10 cube means that is 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10. That is equivalent to 1,000. So 1,000 milligram is equivalent to 1 gram. And 1,000 gram or 10 cube gram is equivalent to 1 kilogram. Okay? So a weasel has a mass of about 5 grams. How many milligrams is this? So to change from a larger unit to a smaller unit, we're going to multiply. So since you are converting gram to milligram, it means from larger unit to smaller unit. So we need to multiply. And the distance from gram to milligram, we have 3. And that 3 represents 1,000 because one movement is multiplied by 10, another multiplied by 10, and another multiplied by 10. So this is gram and this is milligram. So 3 movements means we have tens, hundreds, thousand. So multiply by 1,000. So 5 multiplied by 10 cube means 5 multiplied by 1,000. Then that is equivalent to 5,000. So the relationship now of 5 grams to milligram, 5 gram is equivalent to 5,000 milligram because 1 gram is equivalent to 1,000 milligram. Now, how many kilograms in the weasel? So to change from a smaller unit to a larger unit, we need to divide. So 5 grams divided by 1,000. So because we're going to change from a smaller unit, which is gram, then to a larger unit, which is kilogram. So 5 divided by 1,000, when we divide 5 divided 1,000, just count the number of zeros. We have 3 zeros here. And if the given has no decimal start, at the end. So if this is 5, I will start at the end, then move 3 movements going to the left because you have 3 zeros. 1, 2, and 3. So my decimal now is here. So I need to add 0, 0, and 0. That's why the answer is 0.005 or 5 thousandths kilogram. Okay? Next. How does the relationship between meters and millimeters help you understand the relationship between grams and milligrams? So, here is the sample answer. Millimeter and milligram have the same prefix. So there are 1000 millimeter in 1 meter and 1000 milligram in 1 gram. So which has the greater mass, 1 kilogram or 137,000 milligram? Explain how you can make your comparison. So as you can see, we are comparing now kilogram, okay, to milligram. So if you're going to compare, be sure that the units are the same. So this is kilogram and this is milligram, so they are not the same. So you need to change one of them. Maybe you can change 1 kilogram to milligram to make it the same milligram, or you can change milligram to kilogram to make it kilogram before you compare. So the answer here is 1 kilogram. Why? If I'm going to change 1 kilogram to milligram, that is equivalent to, or kilogram to milligram, that is equivalent to 1 million milligram. Okay? And 1 million milligram is greater than 137,000 milligram. That's why 1 kilogram is or has the greater mass. Next, let's convert the following: 9.25 grams to milligram. So by using this table, this is your gram, then you're going to convert it into milligram. So gram to milligram, how many movements from unit? 1, 2, 3. It means 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10. In short, 10 hundreds, thousand. So it means you need to multiply, because from larger unit to smaller unit, so multiply by 1000. Now, how are you going to multiply 1000 if the given is decimal? So you just simply count the number of zeros, 3. Then if the given has decimal, start from the decimal point. I will make it bigger here. So 9.25. So if there is a decimal, start at the decimal point. Then move 3 movements going to the right because you have 3 zeros per 1000. If there is no decimal, start at the end, or you just add the zeros. Okay? So we have 3 zeros, 3 movements, 1, 2, and 3. So there's a missing number here. I need to add 0. So my decimal now must be at the end. That's why the answer is 9,250. Another example is I have 190 grams. Grams to kilograms. Grams to kilo. So it means going to the left. Tens, 100,000. So if that is from smaller to bigger, that is divide. So divide 1000. So how are we going to divide 190 divided by 1000? What is the easiest way? The easiest way is you just simply count the number of zeros. If it is division, the movement must be going to the left. If there is no decimal from the given, start from the end. If there is a decimal, start from the decimal point. So since the given is 190 and there is no decimal, I will start at the end, then going to the left 3 times because I have 3 zeros. 1, 2, and 3. So my decimal point is here. So the answer is 0.19 or 0.190. That is also correct. Next, let's proceed in comparing. I told you from the start in question number 2 that when you compare, you need to change one of the units. So here I will decide that I need to change 7,000 gram into milligram to make it the same as milligram. Okay? So, gram to milligram. This is gram to milligram. How many movements? Tens, hundreds, thousand. So I have 1000 because 3 movements, it means 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10. So from larger unit to smaller unit means multiply, so I will multiply this by 1000. So 7000 multiplied by 1000. So 7000 multiplied by 1000 is equivalent to 7 million. So 7 million milligram. Okay? So which is the greater? Which is greater? 7,000 milligram or 7,000 gram? Of course, obviously, greater is 7,000 gram because that is equivalent to 7 million milligram. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. I have here 10 squared, then compared to 10 to 4th power. So 10 squared means 10 multiplied by 10 means that is equivalent to 100 kilogram. 10 to the 4th power means 10 multiplied by 10 is 100, another multiplied by 10 is 1000, and another multiplied by 10 is 10,000. So I have 10,000 grams and I have 100 kilogram. So before you compare, you need to change one of them. So I decided to change this kilogram into gram. Okay, so gram to kilogram, kilogram to gram rather, kilogram to gram, I have 1, okay, 2, and 3 movements. So that is multiplied by 1000. So 100 multiplied by 1000, that is equivalent to 1 times 1 is 1, then 100 2 zeros, 1000 we have 3 zeros. So that is equivalent to 100,000. So I have 100,000 grams and I have 10,000 grams. So the bigger is 10 squared kilogram because that is equivalent to 100,000 grams. Next, convert each unit of mass. Gram to kilogram. So gram to kilogram. So 3 movements going to the left. It means we're going to divide. So 3 movements going to the left. 1, 2, and 3. So my decimal is in between 7 and 0. So the answer is 17 kilogram. Another is kilogram to gram. Kilogram to gram. We have how many movements? 1, 2, 3. So from larger unit to smaller unit, that is multiply, and that is tens, 100,000. So 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. So 18 multiplied by 1,000. So the answer is 18,000 grams. Another example, we have 4,200 milligram convert into gram. So milli to gram or milligram to gram, milligram to gram. So how many movements? 1, 2, 3. It means that is 1,000, and that is from smaller unit to bigger unit. So it means we're going to divide 1,000. Dividing by 1,000 means 3 movements going to the left. 1, 2, 3. So my decimal now is in between 4 and 2. The answer is 4.2 grams. Let me continue. Question number 10. I have 0.276 grams change or convert into milligram. So gram to milligram. So how many movements? Tens, 100,000. So we're going to multiply by 1,000. When we multiply, means move going to the right 3 times. So from the decimal 1, 2, and 3. So I have 276 milligram. Another example is 4.08 kilogram. And I'm going to change it into gram. So from kilogram to gram, from larger unit to smaller unit. So that is tens, 100,000. So that is 10, 100,000. It means 3 movements. So it means we're going to multiply by 1,000. So if I'm going to multiply 4.08 by 1,000, I have 3 zeros, and that is multiplication. So 3 movements going to the right. So there's a missing number here. So the answer is 4,080. Another, milligram to gram. So milligram, I have here milligram. Then I'm going to convert into gram. So 1, 2, and 3 movements going to the left. So there is no decimal, so I start at the end. 1, 2, and 3. So the decimal is there, so I need to add 1 0. That's why the answer is 0.043 or 43,000 gram. Now, let's compare. So gram to kilogram. So you can decide if you can change if you can change gram to kilogram, or if you can change kilogram to gram to make it the same. Our objective before you compare is to make the units the same. Okay, so I need to change kilogram into gram to make it the same gram. Okay, so kilogram to gram means multiply by 1000 because I have 3 movements. So 3 multiplied by 1000 is 3000 gram. So 2000 grams compared to 3000 gram, of course, the bigger is 3000 gram. Next, kilogram and gram. You have units of kilogram and gram. So I need to change kilogram again into gram to make it easy for me. Okay, so 4 multiplied by 1000, I have 4000 gram. Why 4000? Because kilogram to gram means multiply by 1000. Okay, so 4 multiplied by 1000 is 4000 gram. I have another 4000 gram. So the answer is 12. Next, 10 to the 4th power. 10 to the 4th power means 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10, and that is equivalent to 10,000. So I have 10,000 milligram, and the other one is gram. So I need to change gram to milligram to make it the same milligram. So gram to milligram from here to here. So how many movements? 1, 2, 3. It means multiply because from larger unit to smaller unit. So multiply by 1000. So that is equivalent to 13,000 milligram. So I have 13,000 milligram, I have 10,000, so which is greater? So 13 grams is greater than 10 to the 4th power milligram. Another example, I have here on number 16, kilogram, and this is gram, so I need to change this into gram. So this is equivalent to 7,000 because gram to kilogram means multiply by 1000. So it means 7,000 gram is equivalent to 7,000 gram. That's why the symbol must be equal. Next, I need to change this into gram, or you can change this into kilogram. It's up to you. So kilogram to gram, that is multiplied by 1000. So 8 multiplied by 1000 is equivalent to 8,000 gram. So we have 9,000 gram, we have 8,000 gram. So 9,000 gram is greater than 8,000 gram. Another, gram to kilogram, I need to change kilogram to gram to make it easy. So this becomes 5,000 gram because kilogram to gram means multiply by 1000. So which is greater now? So 8,000 gram compared to 5,000 gram, 8,000 gram is greater one. So here, milligram, we have 1,000 milligram to gram. If we're going to use the metric conversion, that is equivalent to 1. Okay. Next, 10 grams, that is equivalent to 10,000 milligram, and 100,000 milligram, that is equivalent to 100 grams. 500 grams, that is 5 tenths kilogram. 5 kilogram means 5,000 kilogram, that is equivalent to 5,000 kilogram, and 50,000 grams is equivalent to 50 kilograms. Let's answer this question. Cheryl has a recipe for pasta with vegetables. The recipe calls for 130 grams of vegetables and twice as much pasta as vegetables. What is the total mass in grams of the recipe? Total mass, it means we're going to add. It is asking for the total. Okay, so the recipe calls for 130 grams of vegetables. So vegetables is equivalent to 130 grams. Okay, And the other one is twice as much as pasta as vegetables. Twice means double. So another one is 130 multiplied by 2, that is equivalent to 260. So this twice as much pasta as vegetables is referring to 260, and the other one is 130 grams. So if we're going to find the total mass in grams of the recipe, the answer is 390 grams because we just simply add 130 grams plus 260 grams. Next, Terry is beginning a science experiment in lab. The instructions call for 227 milligrams of potassium. Calculate the difference between this amount and 1 gram. So the units are not the same, so I need to change this into milligram. So gram to milligram. So gram to milligram means 1000 because we have 3 movements going to the right. So 1000 milligram subtract because we're going to find the difference between this amount. So 1000 subtract by 227 milligram. So the answer now is 773 milligram. So that's it. Thank you so much and have a nice day.